Hello YouTube Vintage Stereo Restorers. Here's the bottom side of this Kenwood KT1000. Mostly recapped. In fact, there's only one cap left. And it's on the other side of this shielded section, which is the tail end of the FMIF and the discriminator. And the engineers put it there to keep the noise down. They were very critical of things like that back in those days. And a lot of these solid state tuners that were non-IC, I swear, are the best working FM tuners, just for everything. The noise level, the sensitivity, the selectivity, and stereo separation. But here we have a nicely recapped unit, several new transistors. We don't want to leave one straight capacitor, but we got to get this thing up. So we're going to talk about soldering irons. And this is a basic Weller 7400 base with a screw-in Edison heater, and these have been around for a long time, maybe 100 years. This one has a 25 watt heater in it, small tip. This is good for most of the circuit board work. It won't get it too hot, and it's just fine enough that you can get under wires and lift them. And then I'm just going to show you, got a switch here because the other one's on. This is the same, another 7400 base, but with a 45 watt heater and a bigger chisel tip. And it should be enough. This has been broken on one side already anyway. We're just going to go in here, heat this up, and lift. It doesn't take much at all. Now I think we need one more corner up to get at this. Oh yeah, be careful, not too shaky. There we go. And I would leave one corner on. I'm going to swing this around. You can see it better. Get a little light on the subject. Right there. So I'm going to be able to, the lands for that cap are right there. And as you can see, they use these wire wraps in here. Now here's what's kind of interesting about this. These soldering irons, when I was with the telephone company quite a few years ago, we had them all over the central offices, the older ones, the switching centers. And they would run all day long, and we had 45 watt heaters in them and the bigger chisel tip, because so much of the interface between the equipment and the analog cables leaving was soldered. And I mean, like, both sides of the circuit were soldered. Then on the test frame it was soldered. And then on the data frame it was soldered. Like, you wouldn't believe, like, this was in the 80s, 90s, 2000s. We were still doing a lot of soldering. And I'm not talking just a few here. I'm talking like 50,000 solder joints that a crew would have to do on a cutover. So you had to have good irons. And these were in a metal basket on a sliding ladder like you see in a movie that has an old library. And there's a track on top, like a trolley track, so that the power could get down the ladder. And these things ran from about 8 in the morning to 6 at night. And they kept going and going. And so you'd be somewhere, you got to desolder something. And so you pick up, oh, there's a hot iron. And there'd be a little metal brush. You'd whisk it off, desolder, pull it back, clean it up. We didn't use a vacuum desolderer. We actually used a braid, a solder braid. Or the floor, or your jeans, and you did this over and over again. So I have kind of I like these irons now. There's newer versions that don't have the screw-in base, that have a permanent element. There's thermostatically controlled, but soldering irons are basically controlled by design. 25 watt heater only gets so hot. I can't tell you the exact temperature, but basically you can have a couple of different wattages and do most of your soldering. So a 45 was able to desolder a metal piece off a metal chassis. Cool, right? I think that's in your way. A 25 watt, smaller stuff. There's actually an 80 watt that you can use for like stained glass. I've got one of those. I used to use those Weller soldering guns. And I don't know what it was. You know the kind, turn it on, and the light bulb lights up. 2 positions. I used to really like those, but I went through tips like you wouldn't believe. Like burning through tips constantly. And the thing was heavy and of course kind of useless for this smaller, more detailed stuff. So anyway, I can replace this cap now and then solder this back down where it was and listen to the tuner for a while. Thanks for watching and listening.